Hey guys, welcome to SmackDown Wrestling Reviews. I am your host Boise, and this is SmackDown Live Review. So we have a number one contenders match between Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and Carmella, who will take on Asuka at the Royal Rumble. We also have a shock match announcement for the Royal Rumble for a title, and we also see Daniel Bryan rip into the WWE Universe. This and much more, guys. Let's just get on with it. Let's hit the music. We kicked off the show with Daniel Bryan, not in the ring, not backstage, no, actually in the WWE Universe, aka the backstage area of there. You know, when you're buying all your convenience, the sweets, the drinks, the beer, the merchandise, all around there, and he was legitimately brilliant in this segment. He's brutal attack on the WWE Universe. Not physical, but verbal attack was brilliant. He's just literally stated that the WWE Universe is like all so much, and they're just like AJ Styles. They consume, but they just don't fulfill what the WWE Universe is, and that's what Daniel Bryan's here to do. He's here to fill us. He's here to fulfill what we should be getting from a WWE superstar. He did a fantastic job here. The people that got in the backstage area for Daniel to work on were fantastic. You had two guys eating hot dogs, and Daniel just threw one in the one guy's face. I mean, you had this guy and this woman. He's drinking a soda pop. Daniel takes it off him. Absolutely going mental about him having a straw. I mean, throws the drink on him, and it splashes the woman next to him. Fantastic job. He goes down through the WWE Universe towards the ring, calling them fickle, lazy, all sorts, just constantly cutting a promo, which we've heard several times already, but this is a nice refreshing way of doing this promo. And he finally gets to the ring. He's still continuing to, insult the WWE Universe, and next thing we know, R-Truth attacks Daniel Bryan. These two were meant to have a match to kick off the show, and R-Truth couldn't wait, and he takes down Daniel Bryan. I think this is a fantastic way to open the show. It was a good way to continue the Daniel Bryan insults to the WWE Universe, but we've heard it several times, but this is a nice refreshing way of doing it, especially when he's not in an area you usually see the WWE Universe and superstars converse. So that was quite good, and R-Truth's attack was well put together, because I was expecting AJ Styles, so that was well put together there. So I'm going to give this opening segment a 7 out of 10. I really did enjoy it, and a great start to SmackDown already. Let's get on with the match. So the first match we got of the night, like I said, was R-Truth versus Daniel Bryan. This was all because, aka, Daniel Bryan attacked R-Truth on the Christmas Day episode of SmackDown Live, which was pre-taped, and it was a brutal attack, very similar to the attack we got from, which he did on AJ Styles, but this time with R-Truth. The match itself was a very short match, but it really did come together as a well-performed match by both men. It's honestly a good job that R-Truth is not just a likeable superstar, but he's a great in-ring talent as well, and WWE are using him absolutely fantastically in this segment with Daniel Bryan. It allowed Daniel to come across as an uber heel, beating someone who is, super liked like R-Truth. It allowed R-Truth to look aggressive for attacking Daniel Bryan before the match started, and it was well put together. The whole match was short, but it didn't stay too long to get a bit repetitive. Daniel Bryan did get the victory. He's about to walk out of stage, and what happens? AJ Styles attacks Daniel Bryan. This was brilliant. This is the more aggressive AJ Styles. He's not waiting for the Royal Rumble. He wants Daniel Bryan as soon as possible, and I thought this was great. This is a great way to continue their feud. It really builds up their feud for the WWE title at the Royal Rumble, and it allows the WWE Universe to get more and more used to this more aggressive AJ Styles. So for me, I think that altogether, plus the attack afterwards with the match, I'm going to give it another 7 out of 10, because it did exactly everything it needed to do on this list. Tick, tick, tick. 7 out of 10. So we had a tag team match where we saw Mustafa teaming up with Mysterio to take on Andrade, Cien, Almas, and Samoa Joe. I thought this was an absolutely brilliant match, and if the main event wasn't as good as it was, this would have been the match of the night for me. I absolutely enjoyed every bit of this match. This is really a highlight reel of what 4 great competitors can do, and WWE are very smart here. It's not just giving these guys some time to shine, which they definitely do need to do, because let's be honest, these are going to be 4 of the guys I reckon WWE are going to look at for the Royal Rumble and go, run with it, do what you need to, and outperform. And this was a great platform to give them some time to show what they can do. The match itself was bloody brilliant. Rey Mysterio and Andrade Cien Almas have absolutely instant chemistry, and I could not wait to see these two go at it, because it's definitely building up to a Rey Mysterio's and Andrade Cien Almas feud, especially if we get Samoa Joe versus Mustafa Ali feud. That would be absolutely brilliant as well, because again, all 4 men have brilliant chemistry. I wouldn't even mind seeing Rey Mysterio versus Mustafa Ali in the future, because again, great chemistry. But yes, it was a great victory for Andrade Cien Almas. He got a good big win over let's be honest, his idol, Rey Mysterio. He pinned Rey Mysterio, and it was a big victory, probably the biggest victory he's had since he's moved to SmackDown Live for me. And secondly, it also allows him to have some momentum, especially because, let's be honest, he needs as much, because he's one of the top stars, that young top stars, which WWE should start investing in. So for me, another 7 out of 10. Great start to SmackDown Live this week. Next up, we had Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev, and this was a great little promo between both men. Pretty much Rusev came out to the ring and he talked about the attack that Shinsuke Nakamura did on him. Not just him, but his wife Lana. She's at home recuperating from what happened last week, and he stated that it doesn't matter if he's a United States champion, it doesn't matter. The only thing which matters is him being a husband, and he will get his hands on Shinsuke Nakamura and he will break every bone. This was great because it allowed to cut backstage to where Shinsuke's in the video, I think they call it the video van, I'm not sure. But he's there with video evidence what happened last week. He shows Rusev that Lana was on his back and he kicked him, and it was because of his misconduct that Lana got injured. Obviously this intensed Rusev's anger, and he went after Rusev. Rusev went after Shinsuke Nakamura backstage, but it was all laid out track with Shinsuke Nakamura attacking Rusev backstage and beating the crap out of the Bulgarian brute. This is a great development for Rusev. It's allowed him to become a more sympathetic babyface, and this is great development for Shinsuke Nakamura, who comes across like a heartless heel who wants to use any means possible to get one over the current United States champion. Great storytelling. This is exactly what the US title definitely needed. A great storyline, and I cannot wait to see how both men develop it in the future. I'm going to give this a solid 7 out of 10. Everything's a solid out of 10 so far. Brilliant start to SmackDown Live. Next up, we had a tag team match. Now, this was the Bar. This is the Usos. Now, if the Usos beat the Bar, they will take on the Bar at the Royal Rumble for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. And I have got to give every single credit to the Usos versus the Bar, because going into this match, I was like a lot of people online going, I'm not sure if I want to see this again. I know it's going to be a bloody good match. I knew it was going to be a good match. Usos versus the Bar is always a good match, but I didn't realise how good it was going to be. This was possibly one of the best matches we've seen in some time between the Usos and the Bar, and they've had some really good matches. It's just like sometimes you go, it's a good match, yeah. Usos versus the Bar, or the New Day versus the Usos, or the New Day versus the Bar. It's always a good match, and it's kind of like that constant, water is wet, fire is hot. Usos versus the Bar's going to be a good match, and that's how it always feels. But this was because it didn't have too much lingering storylines, no messing around, what happened a couple of weeks ago. No, this was very refreshing, and it allowed the match to really carry on. I was constantly thinking in the back of my head, someone's going to run in, like the the Good Brothers, Carl Anderson or Luke Gallows coming in and taking out the Bar because they took them out a few weeks ago, or Sanity is going to come out of nowhere because they want to bring chaos to SmackDown Live. But no, neither of those came out, and that was a bit of a disappointment. That was kind of the big disappointment for me throughout the match, but that was just a small disappointment. The whole match was absolutely fantastic. It looked like the Usos were going to get their tag team opportunity, but no, Mandy Rose comes out in a towel asking about if anyone had seen her gold bikini top and bottom, aka Jey Uso. And this obviously, yes, it's a soap opera kind of thing, but it doesn't matter. It really adds more characters to this. The Bar did get the victory. Now they don't have an opponent at that point. And obviously Jimmy Uso chases after Mandy Rose to find out what the hell's going on there. The Bar are celebrating in the ring, and the next thing we know, The Miz comes out, and The Miz puts a challenge to the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Why don't you give me and Shane O'Mac an opportunity? They laughed when you haven't even had a match yet together. And Sheamus bro kicks The Miz in the face, and they accept the challenge. This could be really interesting. It's good to have fresh opponents. It's good to have Mandy Rose getting involved in the Usos stories in some way, which will allow her to get more screen time, which is always a good thing because Mandy Rose is a great talent. And let's give Sonya Deville some more time as well, because she's linked with Mandy Rose as well. So I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. Bloody brilliant match. Great segment, and I like that The Miz is coming across more babyface-ish since he started teaming up with Shane O'Mac. Last but not least, our main event, and this was the triple threat match between Becky Lynch, the Man, versus Charlotte Flair, the Queen, and the Carmella, the Princess of Staten Island. And I have got to give every competitor in this match a round of applause because they were bloody brilliant. This by far was Carmella's best match. By far. She's done a fantastic job. Her teaming up with R-Truth has got her over with the fans, so she is more over than she's ever been, which is great. She was more aggressive in this match than she has been since she has turned babyface. But it was good to see her go back to a heelish kind of style, but still remain a babyface. Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch were absolutely phenomenal, and their match ability to just pull out any type of match and still bring out the best. I've got to give it to them, because Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, they will always get the credit through this match, but Carmella did well. All three women were just fantastic, and they did exactly what they needed to do. They got the fans off their seats for the majority of the match and enjoyed every single second of it. I couldn't stop watching any time. There was not one point when I looked away from the screen, apart from when it was an advert, and then that's when I looked away. But apart from that, the whole match itself was bloody brilliant. All three women should be proud of themselves. Becky Lynch obviously come into the match as the hottest competitor. She's so over with the fans, it's unbelievable. Charlotte Flair, she's just an air superstar who can go into any match. And let's be honest, for me, there's only two women who could win the Royal Rumble in any time, and that's either Becky Lynch if she doesn't win the SmackDown Women's Championship at Royal Rumble, or Charlotte Flair. Those are the only two women you can really put onto that major stream, and that's great news really for SmackDown Live, because they have those big competitors who can do these type of matches. But yes, it was absolutely fantastic by all three women. Becky Lynch did get the win, but again, it was so close. Every single time it looked like someone was going to get the pinfall to get the victory. Someone else got involved or got easily separated them. It was just fantastic. Becky did win. It was definitely the right decision. And then we had the post-match stare down between Becky Lynch and Asuka, and it was both women just screaming at each other. Becky shouting all sorts of abuse to Asuka. Asuka shouting as much abuse to Becky Lynch, but in Japanese, which was brilliant. And the camera stopped there. Just fantastic. I am going to give this match a 9 out of 10. It was that good. I thought this did everything it needed to do. It really builds up the Asuka Becky Lynch storyline, and it really highlights how good Carmella has become in recent weeks, and it also shows how amazing Charlotte Flair is. Charlotte's always going to be a great compare, but this match just highlights how good she truly is. And there you go, guys, that was SmackDown Live for this week, and I have got to give it all the credit in the world. I thought it was going to be hard to beat Raw this week, but SmackDown somehow just managed to do it yet again with fantastic storytelling, great matches, and all over brilliant booking of superstars. So altogether, I'm going to give this week's episode of SmackDown Live an 8 out of 10. It just was brilliant. It was phenomenal. Let's be honest, absolutely phenomenal. But what was your favourite part about SmackDown Live this week, guys? Leave it in the comments below. If you do like our videos, don't forget to like, subscribe, and press the bell to keep notified. And if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can do it. It's at SmackTalkYouTube. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at Boise88. And I'll see you guys next time on Smack Talk Wrestling Reviews.